3 blocks. That's my entire photography week, and that's what we're gonna be talking about in this video. I shoot street photography, but it was becoming something I used to do. I had about 3 hours a week because of my full-time job, so I built a simple system around those hours. And the most eye-opening part wasn't necessarily about the photography, but it actually is to what it did to my energy at work. So here's how it works. So here's some quick context. I work in tech. In my day job, I manage products at a tech company, so I think about prioritization a lot. But by the end of the day, my brain often feels drained. So at that exact moment, I look at my camera on that shelf and feel that familiar guilt that you may also know as well. I mostly shoot street photography with a Fujifilm X106 nowadays, and the thought of planning, culling, editing, and post-it started to feel like a second job that I didn't have the energy for. So what this caused is that my passion started to feel more like a source of stress rather than a source of joy, and you really don't want to be there. After some time, I realized that the problem wasn't necessarily my full-time job, because I really love being a product manager, but the approach I was given to this whole situation. I basically needed a better workflow that I could fit into the life that I already had. So the foundation of this whole system is a short photo walk, because of course you're not going to have pictures if you don't go out and take pictures. So most of the mornings, or at least some mornings, I try to go out of the house with my camera for, let's say, 30 minutes before I open my laptop for my first meeting. And some weeks this may be 5 days out of the whole week. Some other weeks it may just be 2 days out of the week. And that's fine. The point is to get out, and even if it's 1 day a week, that's already more than what I'd be doing if I didn't plan this. And the whole point is not to come back with a masterpiece, because this is all about practice. It's about training your eye and seeing the compositions in the world. And nowadays I've been trying to force myself into themes every month, for example. So a couple months I just did black and white the whole month. So I was trying to force myself into shooting in black and white directly off the camera. And now I'm trying self-portraits. That way I actually go out there with a specific mission. But it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. I could also have days in which I just freestyle and try to lower the pressure of that already. All in all, this short walk is a mental reset, and that's the whole point of it, because the objective is that it guarantees that at least I'm creating something, even if it's very small. And by the time I'm back home and I open my laptop to start doing work-related things, and then at least I know in the back of my mind that I already did something creative that day. And that to me is very relieving. Okay, and now we have the shooting covered, but that doesn't mean that that's the end of the shooting, right? You have to do editing unless you're, of course, producing straight off the camera photos like I do with the X106. And in case you're interested in that camera, I made a video about it. Basically, it is about if it's worth the hype. So if you're interested about that, you can check it over here. When shooting with cameras such as Sony mirrorless, I'm shooting with the a6700 for example, but it can also be a full-frame camera. My biggest bottleneck in my previous process was always culling a huge batch of photos. And this also tends to happen more when I go on a trip, for example, with this kind of cameras, because then it becomes a lot of homework, let's say, to do that editing after the trip. Or you can do it during the trip, but that also means that you have to spend time that you should be on the trip editing or culling photos. The whole point is that I don't even get to enjoy my pictures for a long time, because I just feel like it's a lot of mental load of trying to convince myself that I need to edit all of this. And actually, to be honest, this is something that I procrastinate a lot on. My system now is designed to prevent that pileup. So sometimes during the day, maybe on my actual lunch break or in a 15-minute gap in between meetings, I'll do a quick curation session. This is just a quick check of the general pictures to try to see which ones are actually good or not good, so that the next step of my curation process is a little bit easier. I use Lightroom Mobile because the photos from the morning walk have already synced by the time that I get to do this. Any type of Lightroom you use doesn't really matter. The point is to select which ones you want to use. And when you're on a computer, you use set to pick or X to discard the photo. And then on top of that, if I want to go to the next step, I also use stars. So let's say I 5-star the photos that I'm planning to edit first, and then that's it. That's just a quick check. It's not necessary to go into deep assessments of the photo, because I'm not, for example, zooming in or doing any heavy analysis of the pictures. For me, this is just a quick first filter. Basically, it is just a quick gut instinct call on what catches my eye. This takes about 5 minutes, or at least I try to block it at 5 minutes so I don't spend too much time on this. But of course, it will depend on how big your batch is. The whole goal, as I mentioned, is to try to prevent gigantic decisions later on. And now let's talk about the weekend edit, because this is where it all comes together. Because this is where most of the bottlenecks used to be for me. So I think lots of people would agree that the most tedious hurdle was actually the admin. Because when you want to do something creative and you want to go deeper into the freedom that that gives you, the admin tends to be the killer of the momentum. So here's how I eliminated it, or at least mitigated it for the most part. First of all, let me tell you about which tool I use at my photography headquarters, and that is Notion. And I know that Notion to some people may be too much. People basically have their opinions on Notion. And to be completely honest, it can be daunting, but I try to keep things small and add the necessary changes as I need more things. That way I keep it tailored to my actual needs. This is basically so that I don't overwhelm myself, because I have a love-hate relationship with Notion. I've had some moments in which I just stopped using it because it was too much. But right now, I think we're at a healthy moment of the relationship. So what I did is connect a small AI assistant to Notion. And what this assistant does is handle all of the admin part of creating new posts, drafting some captions, doing the tags and updates. So basically, it's the whole managing of my social media calendar. And I just need to ask it to do it. So I just think about the post, I ping pong some ideas with the assistant, and then whatever I define gets scheduled on my Notion so that I can actually schedule it later on social media, and for that I use Buffer. This setup took a while, but not actually too much. And the most important thing here is that it saves a significant amount of time every month, and it was actually avoiding me to do the most boring part of the work, which is, as I mentioned, the admin. And now it allows me to have more time for the fun parts, and actually the taking pictures, which is the fun part, and all of the things that I like the most. And as I mentioned, this allowed me to have weekends where I can focus on creative things, and sometimes the creative stuff is editing. When I want to do that, I set up 1 or 2 hour sessions, specifically when I took pictures with my mirrorless camera here, or when I decided to take raw pictures with the Fujifilm X106. When I want to do that, I set up a 1 or 2 hour session, and here the important thing is that we should not take the whole freaking day to do this, because that also is a bit frustrating for me. It's just a focused sprint where I open my laptop, then I click on it, and then I edit about, I don't know, 50 photos that I already had waiting on me because of all the culling that I did before. So here's where that part pays off, because I'm not selecting photos, because I already did that by then. So at least out of the whole editing part, I can enjoy the most fun of it. And this is indeed the part that I like the most, because it's the most creative part of the edit. So playing with the colors, compositions, and polishing the images. Putting this whole system in place, actually, I would say, changed a bit my relationship with photography, because of course it mitigated the guilt of not going out and shooting, and my camera now is a tool that I force myself to use regularly and not just an object collecting dust. And on the other side, if thinking practically, I posted more and at a pace that I like and I'm proud of. In short, this is what keeps me shooting while managing a full-time career. But having a system is only half the battle, as you know. If the thought of actually going out and shooting in public makes you anxious, I also made a video about that, which you can check over here. And now I would like you to let me know in the comments what's your single biggest struggle when it comes to balancing your job and your creative side. And if you found this useful, a like and a subscribe would be amazing, because I launched a monthly newsletter called Still Shooting, which is an honest note on making photography work around a busy life, and all the links are in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Boom. My mouse, my beat it. Blah, blah, blah. Ooh, 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 ooh.